Hello and welcome to the Irish in the UK. Coming up on the show this week, we are at the Holy Souls Church Hall in Blackburn with Joe Keegan and his band providing the entertainment. But first up, a few weeks ago, we went along to visit St Winifreds Well in Holywell in North Wales. People travel from all over the world to visit this beautiful place. So we met Canon Francis Doyle to find out a little bit more about this amazing story. Canon, can you tell me, what's the connection with Holywell and St Winifred?
It starts really right back in the beginning of the 7th century when Winifred was born in this general area. As you know, there were settlements in those days, and there were a lot of little kingdoms around as to where in other places, and these often fought and so on. Winifred was born of parents, her father was a prince, her mother Gwenlow, was here, and they brought her up like any family at that time. She was presumably quite an attractive girl, and the legend has it that a prince from Harden, I suppose in the language of today, fancied her, and he made improper sexual advances to her, which she repulsed, and she ran off. And she ran to this place here, and the accounts tell us that Caradoc caught up with her, and when she wouldn't cooperate, he is said to have cut her head off with his sword. And where her head fell to the ground, that's where healing spring actually burst forth from the ground. And that essentially is a large part of where the story begins, the connection. She had an uncle who was a priest, and he came, I understand, from Mid Wales, but he lived in this area in Holywell for a time. He had established a church round about here, and as it happened, he came out of the church when this incident was happening, and he came and picked up Winifred's head and put it back on her body and prayed, and according to the accounts, her life was restored. And ever since then, the waters here have been reputed to have healing properties and so on, and it gradually became a place of great pilgrimage, renowned really, particularly as it grew in the Middle Ages across Europe. So that's really the connection between here and St Winifred. The cult of St Winifred, people coming on pilgrimage and venerating her as a virgin and martyr, that grew, and in the Middle Ages, Canterbury down there, the feast of St Winifred had to be actually celebrated then. And that's how the whole cult developed. It became, as I said, quite famous across Europe as a place of pilgrimage. And many people from then to this day come from virtually all over the world. They come from Ireland, they come from Poland, from America, from Canada. So it's actually a wonderful place of prayer, of healing, according to the claims that are made by people. And as you know, and you will see some of the relics and artifacts really associated with the history of this place include a lot of items that people have left over the years when they've claimed to have been healed of something or other. Crutches is one particular example, and there are a lot of them that have been left here.
Now, the Holywell of St. Winifred, of course, as you just explained, a lot of people come here to pray and to take some of the holy water away, but a lot of people come here to bathe as well. Tell me about that.
Well, I suppose in the Middle Ages, and there was a practice grew up where people would actually come around the pool praying. They come around 3 times and then go into the water. It's not intended as a swimming pool by any means, but you know, it's in the nature of things that people do different things. The whole point is that they have this great faith, and they go into the water in the full belief that, and I suppose with their prayer, that through the intercession of Winifred and the grace of God, that they will actually receive graces, whether it be healing or whatever. But people do come for various reasons, and you know, we always make clear that people of any faith, and indeed of none, are welcome to visit this place.
And you've got a few lovely little chapels here, haven't you, where people can go inside and kneel and pray and light candles?
Indeed, there's one just here, and then there is the rather famous one over the well itself, what is called the Margaret Beaufort Chapel, and that's beautiful. And it has to be mentioned, you know, that this is probably the only place, one of the only places in Britain that was a place where there was continuous worship and prayer right through the period of the Reformation and penal times.
Now, Canon, can you tell me your opening times? Because you described to us there, people come from all over the world, let's say, or Europe, to here. But what's your opening times, and when can people come along?
Well, it's open all the year round, except for 2 days in the year. At Christmas, there's one of the days when it's not open, and then there's one other day at a bank holiday, but normally it's open right throughout the year. There is a website that has all the information about the opening times, as well as the bathing times.
Now, you've got a lovely shop here as well, and I know that you've got lovely holy objects in there.
It's, yeah, a repository mainly, but there are other items. recognise that a lot of people come essentially as tourists as well as those who come on pilgrimage and those who come on private personal visits. And so what's in the repository, the shop area, is intended to cater for all needs and so on.
Now that's a great Dublin accent you've got there. Do you get back to Dublin much?
Not as much as I would like. I do have some sisters still in Dublin, you know, married, and I'm hoping to get over there in the not too distant future to visit them, you know, and maybe to get up towards Mayo and Knock as well when I'm there.
It was lovely to meet Canon Francis Doyle and all the staff at St Winifred's Holywell, and if you'd like to visit, the well is open almost all year round. It's time for us to take a little break. See you in part 2 when we'll be in Blackburn with Joe Keegan and his band. Hello and welcome back to the show. Now every week we're out around the country bringing the stories from the Irish community, and this week we're at the Holy Souls Parish Hall in Blackburn, and Joe Keegan is there with his band. Joe, what a night here at the Holy Souls in Blackburn.
Hey, do you know, it's busy, isn't it? I can't quite believe how many people we've got in this little church hall over here in Blackburn. So fantastic. I think we did 120 tickets and everyone's really enjoying it by the looks of things. Smiling, dancing and singing along, so we're having a great time.
Well, what an audience as well. You were saying that it's a great crowd here and they're all singing along to your songs and up dancing, and there's Irish songs in there. There's a great mixture of everything.
I tell you, they know how to have a good time here in Blackburn. Yeah, I didn't even have to ask them really, and they were up dancing. You know, it's been really lovely so far. And yeah, like you say, we're doing a bit of everything tonight. So we've got obviously all the Irish songs in that we know and love, and then we've got kind of Motown jazz and all these kind of other things going on as well tonight. So it's a real mixed bag, and I think there's something for everybody in this show tonight. It's a bit different from us as well. A real challenge to pull it all together, all these different genres of music. But you know, we can see everybody singing along to, you know, Wild Rover and that kind of thing at the back even. So, you know, it's going well.
You've got a great band now, Joe.
Yeah, thank you. I met them all at the Royal Northern College of Music, the lads that I play with now. And if anything, Martin, they're making me sound better, you know, which is fantastic. They're a great bunch of boys, and they know what they're doing. So yeah, we're having a great time playing all these shows together. You know, last year we did 150 dates between September and the following September. So it's been a busy and tough sort of tour schedule for us. You know, I've not known them long. We've only been playing together about 1.5 years, 2 years now. So to spend that much time with them, you know, there's been a few little quabbles here and there, but we're you know, more like brothers now after spending so much time together. And they're loving playing the Irish music, let me tell you.
The same, gotta pick myself up, turn it around and think of the life I left on the ground.
Now your new single, Pick Myself Up, that's going really well.
Yeah, we've done nearly 20,000 streams on Spotify quite recently, and it's, you know, it's snowballing now. We're getting more people ringing us up and asking us to play gigs because they've heard that single on the internet, wherever the people find these things. And yeah, so it's kind of it's interesting watching it happen. Start to build that momentum. You know, we were just saying it's quite a catchy little tune, so you hear it once and you can sing along, you know what I mean? So
now people are booking you well ahead of time now, because I know you're booked up for the Manchester Irish Festival, which is like 6 months away.
We've got about 14 shows booked within 2 weeks, so it's kind of like 2 weekends, sorry. So within 9 days we're playing 14 shows over the St Patrick's period, so it's the busiest St Patrick's we've ever had. We've got 70 shows booked into the new year and beyond, so it's going to be another busy year, and to be honest, I'm really looking forward to it. You know, there's nothing better in life than playing music and seeing people smiling back at you. You know, making other people happy is the greatest feeling on earth, honestly. I live for this, you know, it's great.
I was watching you performing there on stage tonight, and I just thought to myself, that man enjoys every single minute of this, because every song you had a big smile on your face, and you know that made the audience smile as well.
Yeah, it's still here. You know, I can't stop smiling. Like I said, this is the best part of life for me. Being on stage and knowing that other people are enjoying themselves and being part of that is something special. You know.
Now, if people wanted to book you, how can they do that?
Yeah, okay, so you can email Joe at joekeegan.co.uk. My website is joekeegan.co.uk.
Tom, tell me a little bit of the history about All Souls Parish Centre.
The church was built in 1958. Originally, the masses that took place were in a hut down the road near the cemetery. And it became necessary, because it got bigger and bigger, to build a church. So they found this site and they built the church here in 1958. And it's grown in popularity and in size since then. It's approximately 1,100 parishioners, but on the whole we have a good response to a lot of people from the area, not only our own parish but other neighbouring parishes, because of the times of the masses we have. The parish hall was built, I think, around about 1974, and it was to serve this area, the community, not just Holy Souls Church. It's independent of the church, it's run by parishioners, but it's not run by the church. So any money that we make, we plough back into the hall, but we also give to charity as well. Tonight's session, the money we make from that will go into the coffers, and then we'll give money to various groups, school groups, church groups. We've recently given £1,000 to a priest in South Africa who needs money for his schools.
And I believe that your parish priest sadly passed away about 4 years ago.
Father Peter, he was very keen on the hall, and he wanted the hall to be a community venue for everybody, all denominations. Sadly, he passed away before years in December, I think, unfortunately of cancer. But this room that we're in now, we christened it the Knowles Room, because he wanted to build a little conference centre within the hall where people could meet and where groups came in that have somewhere to relax and sit down and generally have a quiet time before they go and perform on stage.
And of course the community centre here, or the parish hall as we call it, it's a great sense of, like, it's right in the centre of the community, isn't it? It's a great place for meeting people, and all the parishioners can come in here.
Yeah, we have a brunch club on a Monday, which is open to anyone and everyone. We have karate groups, keep fit groups, we have music groups, we have a dance group on a Friday night. We have quiz nights. We've got a quiz night coming up sometime in November, which again is very well represented by the community.
Jeff, of course you've had a wonderful response to your fundraising event here tonight.
Yeah, that's correct. Quite a lot of people know Joe. know Joe Keegan. A lot of people don't know Joe, but from the feedback that I've received during the interval, they're all enjoying it.
And I believe Joe's playing on your brand new bandstand. This is the first night for it.
That's correct, the brand new stage, and Joe's the first person to play on the stage.
Great stuff. And of course everybody out there is having a great time, but the money raised tonight now is going to go back into the centre, isn't it?
Yeah, the money that we've raised is going into the church hall, and also will be distributed out to various organisations.
You're quite new to this parish, aren't you? Because you used to do a lot of work down in Manchester.
That's correct. I was with St Chad's in Cheadle. I was involved with the charity work there, and I've been with this parish for about 18 months.
So how are you settling in?
Brilliant. The people are really friendly, they're really nice, and I've joined the social committee.
All the things you left behind. You said the wedding could be better. Morning I can see, living like you did the rhythm might be better without me, so I had to leave. You go to
It was great to meet so many lovely people in Blackburn, and well done to Joe Keegan and his band. They kept them on the dance floor all night. Now don't forget to tell your family and friends. Henry McGlade is back next Thursday evening at 7 o'clock, and we are here at 7:30 with the Irish in the UK. Both shows are repeated every Saturday evening between 8 and 9 p.m. and again on the Tuesday lunchtime between 12:30 and 1:30 p.m. Until next time, take care.